Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Janie Deadweiler, your victory coach, Victoria's Intervention Carefully Training on Restoring Yourself, yes. And I'm recording in front of something that's going to be significant with what I want to share with you um, regarding when it seems like you have nothing. That's when God blesses you the most. And what I'm about to share with you is surrounded around this um, piece of beautiful work that was done by a Gullah man in Savannah, Georgia, back in 2010. But here is the scenario. I had come out of um, I'm just going to call it a situation because when we decided to officially start dating, everything went crazy. So it was just a red flag to me that it definitely wasn't for us to be together. However, this journey here began on July the 3rd of 2010. And you may ask, why are you telling us something regarding that year? Well, it seems that God is taking me back into my journals, and he brought me back to 2010, and it's going to be significant, obviously, to someone for me to share it because I couldn't go to bed. So a friend of mine, Cherie, came by. There were some things that was challenging her at the time, and she called me and she was upset, and I said, well, just come to my house. And we shared and cried and shared and cried. And that next morning, she got up, she made breakfast. We had a great breakfast, and she said to me, let's do a road trip to Savannah. And I said to her, because I'm retired and on a fixed income, I said, Cherie, you need to let me know ahead of time so I can plan for stuff like that. And she said, well, let's do a Thelma and Louise without the suicide. And I said, okay. And I looked at my account, and I'm going to be very transparent here. I had 11 cents. 11 cents in my account. And it wasn't close to my payday. And I said to her, I don't have the money to make this trip. And she said, who asked you to have any money? I have a tank full of gas. We have a girlfriend in the hotel business. We're going to Savannah. Pack your bag. And I went to my bedroom and packed a bag, and we started on our way. Now, what was interesting when we arrived in Savannah, it was a beautiful day that day because it was 4th of July. And we got to the hotel room, and we had to be moved 3 times. The first room, that was an issue. The second room, that was an issue. But the third room, we ended up in a suite. It was an awesome suite too. And I mean, it was just showing that God was winking at us and letting us know that we were going to have his blessings on this trip. And so we put our bags down and we went down to the boardwalk to find a restaurant to eat. And even in the restaurants, we found favor in the restaurants. It was just amazing. And some of the most friendly people surrounding us as we were dining. And then we later waited for the afternoon and the early evening for the fireworks. And we thought we had found a pretty cool place to sit right at the water. But what was amazing, one of the guys who were working as security came over to us specifically and said, ladies, follow me. I want you all to come and sit over here. He sat us in a position where we were somewhat elevated over everybody else and would be able to look out on the water, and it was absolutely just perfect. And we stayed there that night, watched the fireworks, and the next day we did a little touring around the city, and there was this fountain that I wanted her to see. I wanted her to go to the square. It's a beautiful square there, and an absolute beautiful fountain. And whenever I go to Savannah, I always go by that fountain. And as we were crossing the square, I see this guy, and he has these long pieces of grass. I forget the name of the grass, but he told me, but I forgot it then, and it was green. This, what you see here, was green at the time that he made it. And as he was sharing with us, he was a Gullah native, and as he shared with us, he was telling us these stories that were just incredible about the Gullah people and how things had changed. And as he's sharing these stories with us, he is molding and making this arrangement with his eyes closed. And the one that he made for Cherie was one of a cross, which I thought was interesting. And as he had his eyes closed, he asked, "Which one of you are a teacher?" And I responded to him, "Me." And he said, "I knew it. Be blessed, beautiful queen." And at the moment that he finished sharing things with Cherie and said what he said to me, we understood why we had to stop there. God blessed us tremendously by having this conversation with him. And as we walked away from him, feeling so blessed that we took that trip, and me even more so, because I didn't have 2 quarters to rub together. Remember, I told you I only had 11 cents. And although we had a couple of hiccups, God wanted us to be in that suite. He didn't want us in a regular room that day. So I'm saying this to anyone who may be in some type of distressful situation, or in a situation, excuse me, or an abusive relationship, excuse me, that understand this. This amazes me. Excuse me. I shouldn't be having any issues, but I know why. This is what I want you to understand. That you may be in an abusive relationship. You may not have 2 nickels to rub together. But I do want you to understand that there is help out here for you. There is someone who will come alongside you and ride with you, walk with you, talk with you, share with you, cry with you through the process of getting out of an abusive relationship. You must say something. You must let someone know that you're in distress. And as I turn back to this beautiful rose that was in the middle of a heart-shaped grass here, it turned to this beautiful light cream color. And as you can see, there's a hummingbird there. Cherie loves hummingbirds, and I love butterflies. And she sent this to me last year at the beginning of the pandemic, which was so amazing that it came at such a beautiful time. But when you're in these positions of seeming like there's nothing that you can do, my point is this is when God will show you his love for you. This is when God will show you he can take nothing and make it be something amazingly beautiful and rememberable, and to let you know that he will not leave you, he will not forsake you, he has you. Now you have to reach out though. You have to reach out and let somebody know that you need that help. Our website is www.angelsindistress.org. You can reach out to us via our contact page. If you are able to use a phone for the National Domestic Violence Hotline, that number is 1-877-799-SAFE. And I mean, understand that you are not the only one who has gone through this. I stand here as an expert because I've been educated, but even the more so because I survived a situation that was horrific, actually. So know that there is help out here for you, that we are looking to help you, but you must let us know that you are in need of the help. Cherie and I had a beautiful weekend. We went to the beach, we went to the pool, we sunbathed, we relaxed, and we laughed literally on the way back of how we had such a splendid weekend. And I reference it because she reached out to me. She wasn't distressed in the means of a domestic violence situation, but she was in distress. And she reached out, come on over, let's do something to make this change, particularly for our mind, body, and spirit. And it happened. And I only had 11 cents that weekend. But God, it was nothing but a but God testimony to assure us that He had us. I am Janie Detweiler, your victory coach. Victorious intervention, carefully training on restoring yourself. Yes. Thank you for watching. Until next time, peace and blessings.